Hello and welcome to Aura Talks. My name is Leandra, I'm a human design specialist and I worked in the holistic health sector. And in this video we're gonna specifically talk about one environment type according to human design, which is caves. And if you have not checked out your ideal environment yet, I recommend to do so in the links provided below, where you can calculate your chart and you can see in the properties what your ideal environment is. And if it says caves, this video is for you. Also, if you want to check out all the other environments, look at my previous video which I recorded about your ideal environment. And I want to talk about caves because this is my environment, and obviously it's always a little bit easier to talk about the things from a personal perspective because I've experienced these themes personally and I'm of course an expert in this specific environment. And caves basically builds the foundation of all of the environments, which means evolutionarily speaking, it was the first of all environments, which therefore is a little bit primal. Meaning our ancestors used to live in caves and there they found their safety from the outside world. There they found the safety from all the other tribes maybe, or the animals or the weather conditions that could potentially harm them. So the cave gave them really this feeling of safety and stability and having their own space available for them. So obviously now we're not living in these times anymore, but people with caves environment will still have this kind of feeling about them that comes from the past times. So that means this theme of safety and having a very secure environment around you is absolutely essential and crucial for your energy body. And I'm saying energy body because it's really about the physical body, meaning your body will only feel good, will only be in alignment when you are in your according environment, which in your case is caves. So in my personal experience, caves can, of course, doesn't need to be a home or a place that actually looks like a cave. It can be that you like to be in caves or maybe cenotes, which are in Mexico, etc. But most of the time it will be your home that you connect with caves, or if you spend a lot of time maybe in an office or at your workplace, that you can establish a place that feels like a cave for you. So what does that mean? As I said, safety and stability is the number one priority, the biggest factor. Meaning you need kind of walls around you that may give you the feeling of being enclosed and being safe. Therefore, camping, for example, is probably not your favorite thing to do, or living in a hut just made of wood or something where you can hear all the animals, where you can hear the rain, where you hear other people talking, is probably not something that you actually really like. And if you're below 30, it might be the case that you're still experimenting. Specifically, if you have a 3 or a 6 profile line, then you experiment with your environment, meaning you potentially do go camping. I did a lot of camping. I went to hostels, etc. in my past because I have a 6-3 profile, which is quite chaotic and adventurous in the early years. But specifically after around 30, the environment becomes more and more important and becomes a little bit more of a non-negotiable over time. That means nowadays I'm over 30. Yes, I don't look like it, I know, but like I'm over 30. I really feel that my environment has become more and more important and I cannot make any compromises on it anymore. So camping, for example, is really not an option. Also, I was sleeping in Bali, I was sleeping in a hut and I literally could not sleep. I couldn't close my eyes. I was just constantly anxious. And that's what can happen, right? Like your body actually gets anxious if it doesn't feel safe. So whatever this safety means for you, and that obviously looks very specific from person to person, is the important key factor here. Also, what's going to be important is that you feel like you have your own space, you have control over your space, meaning you know exactly who's in your space and you know exactly who's coming in and out. There's ideally just one door, not a lot of whole other stuff going on like walkthroughs, or like several doors, let's say, because that can give you the feeling of you don't have control, or you don't know who's coming in and what can happen for you. Specifically about sleeping, I would say, in my personal experience as well, this is quite important, because if you're sleeping, you want to rest, right? You want to feel safe. You don't want to know no one is just coming in. So that's the important thing as well, that probably your sleeping room needs to feel good and safe, like this cozy, even maybe a little bit smaller room. Me personally, I don't like too big open plain spaces. I like it when it's a little bit more cozy, a little bit more enclosed, because it really gives me this nice embracing feeling, specifically when sleeping. So yeah, that's the other thing. Any other thing that can help you feel really safe is beneficial. So a lot of people say caves need to be on the ground floor, because it gives you this this base, this grounded feeling, and also less light. So caves actually like having a little bit more of a dim room, not so many too open big windows. So specifically for sleeping, you're probably one of these people, just like me, who likes it really, really dark. Like I have like 3 window blockers. I wear my eye mask. And sometimes even put something on top of that in order to be able to sleep. Also having like tiny little lamps instead of like these super bright big lamps on top of the ceiling might really resonate with you. So yeah, a lot of people therefore say ground floor is really good, because there's not so much light coming in and you have this feeling of this coziness, people around you. In my personal experience living in a city, that actually is not true for me, because on the ground floor I would feel like people can come in or look in really easily, so I prefer living a little bit higher up. But here again, whatever makes you feel safe. If you live in a really safe city, really safe place, maybe there's not so many people around, not so much criminality, whatever, you might want to live on the ground floor, because it gives you that feeling of cave. So I think it really depends on the circumstances. Generally speaking, caves often are more drawn towards a little bit more busy places, a little bit more kind of like city vibe places. Doesn't mean that you need to live in a massive city, but like living really remotely out in nature can actually bring up again this feeling of being exposed and being not really safe. So you probably want to have like some sort of people around you living a little bit more kind of like dense, closer, approximate environment to other people. And what else about caves? Yes, I lived actually in Mexico City. That felt really good. It was the ultimate cave apartment. It had like concrete walls. The ceilings were quite low. It had the steel on the roof. So that felt really, really cozy and so much like a cave. Not too many windows. And I had the security guard downstairs and really good locks on my doors. So that was absolutely amazing. It made me feel really, really good, really, really safe, really enclosed. So whatever it is for you that you need to feel like a cave, let me know if you have caves and if that resonated so far. I'm super curious to know. And also maybe what are other things that you connect with the cave. What also counts for most caves in terms of more how you behave with your cave is that you cannot be out like a full day, because the cave will give you the energy, right? Like it will charge you up with energy. So me personally, for example, I'm a really outgoing, bubbly person. I love to spend time with other people, with friends, etc. But I always, over the course of one day, I need always like I can go out a few hours and I need to come back to the cave. I can go out for a few hours and need to come back to recharge in my cave, and then don't see anybody, just close the doors and not have anyone there. So that might resonate with you as well. You probably are not a person that can just go out in the morning, just be out all day and then just come back the next day or whatever. You will need to constantly come back to your home. So having your home in a location that is actually quite convenient to get to can be very helpful. Because let's say if your location is like 2 hours drive from your work, it might be difficult to get back and forth. Then you could see, hey, maybe how can I create a cave environment in my office space. So that could be an option as well. But however, you will need over the course of the day your little cave time and your cave environment. If you look back to your childhood, or even if you have kids, potentially they love to do camping indoors, so just like have a little tent indoors, or like a bunk bed where underneath they put like shades and just spend some time there. So you can already support your kids if you have with their ideal environment. And in the cave's case, always see that everything we talked about so far is made secure for them, because that will really charge them with energy and bring them away from too much outside conditioning. So yeah, that was it for today, talking about caves. If there's anything else that you want to mention about caves environment that maybe you've noticed about yourself, or that you want to share, please leave a comment. And if you want to understand your whole person as a whole, because we can here only look at specific parts, but in overall, there might be so many different factors that influence on how you actually choose your cave life to be. For example, your eating style, right? Or your profile might influence the way on how you actually see your cave. So it's always important that we interpret the chart as a whole. So if you want to get that done, like, I'm so happy to give you a reading. That's what I'm here for, here to help you understand yourself even better. And yeah, you can book a reading in the link down below. That was it for today. I'm sending you so much love, and bye for now.